All right, let's get started with part 2 of our lecture today. And we're thinking about compliance of nutrition facts tables. We've gone through multiple exercises related to the design of these labels using ESHA. And let's just talk a little bit about compliance. We've thought about rounding and the rounding issues that are inherent with the current labeling requirements. We just went through the website that walks us through the core statistical modeling for compliance. Let's just talk compliance on a very superficial level right now. The fun of lecturing from my house is that I can walk into my kitchen and pull out a whole pile of different food products. And so I just went and raided my pantry, and here is a box of crackers. I'm not out and saying anything specifically about one brand or another. It's just I raided my pantry. Let's take a quick look at the label here. Now, walking through this label from a compliance perspective, we know that this is a product that does not have added vitamins or minerals. You can see in the ingredient declaration, there is no added fortification within this product. So from a criterion perspective, this is not a criterion 1 or a criterion 2 food. It is a straightforward product. Now, something else that we want to note is if we think about how much each of one thing that I often ask is do a quick calculation and see how much is the label lining up from adding up the protein, the carbohydrate, the fat from a calorie content perspective. So I see 2.5, I see 13, but I also see 2 of that grams is fiber, so it's actually 11. And I see 2 for protein. So 2.5 times 9, 18. That was going to add up to 22.5. 22.5 plus 11 for carbohydrates. So that's 22.5 plus 44 is 66.5. And then plus 8 for protein. So you see 2 grams of protein is going to be plus 8. That gives us 74. And wait a second, the calories are coming in at 80. So this begs the question, where is that difference? Well, part of it we can chalk up to rounding error because, again, I am not aware of all of the rounding issues. We are also going to say, within that 20% error variance, is that permitted? Is it 20% or is it 50%? Think about it. So we added up and we had 74 and we have 80 as the declared calories. If you as a consumer walked in there and said, wait a second, I'm not getting enough calories, are you really going to have a leg to stand on? In general, in this category of product, you are not going to have a leg to stand on, and they likely also rounded it up from a generosity perspective to make sure that people were not going to be annoyed. So do double check all those rounding rules to make sure that the rounding isn't the issue in this case. So that's one example. Again, great product. Enjoy this very much. How about... Oh, let's just stick to things in boxes for a minute. What would be the criterion on this one? So, oh, wait a second. That's a modified NFT with a wide variety of voluntary nutrients. So automatically we note, because of the declaration on those additional voluntary nutrients, that there's going to be additional scrutiny. Oh, and wait a second. I see vitamins and minerals are being added to this product. So which criterion is this? This is going to be that criterion where the added vitamins and minerals is permitted and added, but Is this a meal replacement product? No. Are there cereals that are meal replacements? You may have had Vector, and back in the history of Kellogg's Vector cereal, they pushed it as a meal replacement product. However, this is not classed as a meal replacement product. This is just breakfast cereal. So from a criterion perspective, this is a different product than this, because this one is not adding all of those vitamins and minerals from a voluntary and mandatory fortification perspective. Now, oh, here's another one. I bet everyone's got a bottle of this magic sauce in their house. This is another good example. This one, the math is pretty straightforward. I've got 1 gram of carbohydrates, and it's coming in as sugar, and I've got 0.1 grams of protein. So 4 and 0.4, no fat. But wait a second, why is it rounding to 5? So again, a company of this size, I am absolutely confident is sending their product out for analytical testing, but I'm going to bet you anything it's a rounding rule. Because if you had let's say 1 gram of carbohydrate at 4 calories and 0.4 from the protein, it's not that far off for the rounding to be going up. So getting to 4.5. So let's say it wasn't actually 1 gram of carbohydrates. Let's say it was 1.2. So now it's 4.8 plus that 0.4 from the protein, and added together, it's going to round up to 5. This is a good example of where the rounding rules are becoming convoluted and making it such that the label looks like it's got a problem, but I'm extremely confident that this label doesn't have a problem. And again, would someone go and complain to a regulator over 1 calorie? They wouldn't really get very far with that argument. So again, these nutrition facts labels from a design perspective have a lot of potential ambiguity in them, but that's on the side of the manufacturer, because again, it's not fair to make these manufacturers have to make new labels every single time. So assignment number 1 for you is to take some time, go and find a label in your pantry. Hopefully you've got some food in your pantry right now, and do this sort of mental exercise and send me an email. You know where to find me. Send me an email just saying you tried it out and you found something interesting. Write a sentence or two about what you found and send that in an email for our discussion. Hey, there's a Sasquatch photobombing me. Take care, and we'll talk to you in video number 3.